Don't boycott Amazon. Don't do anything differently because we want our money. Yeah, that's basically how these authors sound. Hello, welcome to Roussel Reads. I'm Deja, and today we are going to do a monthly reset. First, I want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed. My romantasy video did a lot better than I thought it would, which I'm very grateful for, and I'm happy to see a lot more people join me on my channel. I haven't posted in a few weeks just because work has been crazy. I am not a full-time content creator, and I definitely have a day job. So work has been just busy, and March is not going to be any better because the end of March, we pretty much have an international event happening, and it is going to be a lot. So I'm going to try to post more on this channel, but I'm also really putting into practice resting this year because I do have a tendency to overwork myself. So I'm trying to put better balance into my life, and also my priorities have pretty much changed a lot. So before I get into a whole ramble on everything, let me go ahead and get into the stats. So I ended up reading 7 books in February, which I was very surprised about because I have been feeling very much in a slump, but I will say some of these were carryovers from January, so not all of them I started in February. Additionally, I ended up DNFing 3 books. So in total, I tried like 10 books. Out of the 7 books that I read, 2 of them were books that I owned, 4 were from the library, and 1 was from Kindle Unlimited. And we will talk about Kindle Unlimited in just a second. In terms of the books that I hauled and unhauled, I did not unhaul anything. I'm pretty much waiting to do like a big unhaul because I really, really hate leaving my house. So if I'm doing an unhaul, I just want to do one big go and leave it at that. So no unhauls, but I did haul quite a few books. I hauled 5 books. I ended up buying 2 off of Amazon because they were only available on Amazon. And I ended up getting 3 digital ebooks. And I believe I spent around $35 for the 2 physical books, and then the other 2 books I got for free. So not too bad for the month of February, but definitely want to focus on reading the books that I already own instead of buying more books. I'm trying to get better at that, so hopefully this can help keep me accountable. In terms of my NetGalley, I have a goal to get my NetGalley score up to 80% this year. I really do think that I could do it. I've only been using NetGalley for about a year now, and I have 40 titles, and I've sent about like 14, 15 titles to them already. So I believe that I could really get to 80% by the end of the year. But in terms of my current NetGalley score, I am at 33%. I sent feedback for 2 books, and I received 3 more books. So it pretty much canceled itself out for what I read versus what I got. But I'm happy I was able to send 2 of the books back for feedback. One of them was released last year and I just got around to it. And then the next one, I was actually able to review it around the time that it actually came out. So very happy about that. I'm trying to make that my goal to read these books before they actually come out, or at least a few weeks after they come out. That's my goal, and I'm doing pretty good at that so far. Now, let's talk about some of the reading challenges that I've been participating in. I was doing QWordy, and I think I decided that I'm not going to do it anymore. It was fun at first, but because I'm in such a massive reading slump right now, I do not think that I'm just gonna focus on trying to hit prompts for this challenge. Like, I pretty much have like a TBR that I put like books that would fit there, and none of those books are really calling to me. And I really want to get back into reading because, like I said, I'm in a slump and I just want to be inspired by books again. So yeah, I'm going to quit the QWordy challenge. And I made it to 48% on the Storygraph challenge. I think in reality, it's probably closer to like 30% just because of the way that the challenge is structured on Storygraph. I don't think it reflects accurately how far into the challenge I actually am, but I'm still happy with that number. So yeah, I'm just going to call it quits for now, and we'll just see whatever else I read if it fits it. Okay, I guess. In terms of the fantasy book bingo, I am also at 48% on this challenge. This one, I have basically the month of March to get to 80%, which is what I wanted. I wanted actually to have 100%, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen this year, especially because, like I said, I'm in a reading slump and I don't want to like force my reading. But the year from the last fantasy book bingo to this year, that flew by so fast. So I really need to get up on it. And I think that because I'm in a huge fantasy mood right now, maybe I will reach 80%. I don't know. We will see how that goes. And at the beginning of this year, I did decide I was going to do two more challenges. There's going to be the Black Horror Challenge hosted by Book Tribe, and there was the Students Readathon, which was hosted by Native Lady Book Warrior. So I have not read any books for those. So I'm behind, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm not stressing about it. Not going to stress about it. In terms of upcoming plans, like I said, March is going to be a very busy month for me. I have work and I'm also on a deadline for my own writing, which is also stressing me out a little bit, but very exciting. But yeah, there's just been a lot going on over here, and I'm not mad at it, but I'm also like, I'm supposed to be resting and trying to find balance. And trying to find balance in the midst of all of this craziness is not helping anything. So we will see how the month of March goes. I'm feeling good going into it, but like it's already first week of March and I don't know what's going on. So yeah. And the last thing that I want to talk about is just canceling Kindle Unlimited. There has been a lot of talks on threads just about people boycotting Amazon and all of that. And first, I will say, I think that there's definitely nuance to this conversation. There's the reader side, and of course, the writer side, and then everything in between. So I know for me, when I decided to cancel Kindle Unlimited, it's because I really was not using it. Like I showed in the stats before, I read one book from Kindle Unlimited. That's not enough for me to justify paying $11.99 for that one book. And then in the months prior, like I wasn't really reading those books either. I pretty much DNF almost all of the Kindle Unlimited books that I was reading in the last few months, and I just felt like I was wasting money, especially because I'm not in an indie romance mood right now. And I think indie romance is huge in KU. And so that's really what inspired my cancellation of KU. And I don't think anybody has a problem with that, especially because it harms authors more if you just hold on to the books and you don't read them. And that's basically what I was doing. Like, I was holding on to all of these books because I'm like, oh, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. And then I just wouldn't read them. So I was just wasting my money, wasting probably their money. And no, Kindle Unlimited probably just isn't for me. Part of my decision to cancel KU was, like I said, I wasn't using it. But another part of it was Amazon got rid of the option to back up your ebook files. Granted, I was one of those readers that did not back up my books before I learned about this clause or whatever going away. And the only reason why I did back up my books is because there are a few books that I own that I bought when I was a teenager. And these are black YA books that are pretty much hard to get these days. Like a lot of these black books, they don't get as long of a run as a lot of other books. And so access to them gets harder. And yes, you may be able to find like an ebook somewhere or whatever, but like that digital file and not even be able to have like access to it, like if Amazon decides that the black YA book that I wanted, if they decide that they don't want that on their platform anymore, like I wouldn't be able to read that book anymore. And I just don't like that, especially with all of, like the banning and stuff happening and just the way that especially diverse voices are being suppressed and things. Like I don't want these books to be just gone. I definitely still want access to the books that I bought with my own money. And I think that's like the biggest reason why I don't really want to do ebooks through Amazon anymore, or pretty much like ebooks through like any other platform that is trying to restrict where you can use your ebooks and like send them to. So that is definitely a factor for me for like why I'm trying to move away from the Amazon ecosystem. Part of the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because a lot of authors, it seems like they're like shaming readers for not wanting to be a part of that system anymore. And the argument that you're harming indie authors that are publishing through KU and stuff, like I just, I don't necessarily agree, but I don't disagree. Because a lot of the indie authors that I do read, yes, I've tried some in KU, but like I've also been able to try some at my library, especially on Hoopla. Like they're definitely able to find ebooks and stuff. I feel like a lot of libraries, and maybe I'm just like privileged in this way, which I fully acknowledge, but a lot of libraries will purchase ebook copies of indie authors, and libraries have to pay more money for those copies of books anyway. And to say that you're not supporting indie authors because you're not subscribed to KU, like that, no, that doesn't make sense to me. And I'm not completely against Kindle Unlimited either, but I think where it's dangerous for a lot of these authors is that they're putting their whole catalog in Kindle Unlimited, and so they've only been banking on one income. And if Amazon decides to just get rid of your KDP account or anything like that, I fear for them. At the end of the day, it's a business, so authors have to do what they're doing, but I don't like how they're just shaming readers for wanting to choose better. That doesn't make any sense to me. Readers are trying to give authors a better chance, get better royalties, get better standards for the industry, and not contribute to Amazon being a monopoly over the ebook industry as it pretty much already is. But like we decide to shame people that don't want to support that anymore. I do understand that it is helpful for a lot of readers to be able to read a lot of books, especially if they do read a lot of books. But to say don't boycott a system, I don't necessarily agree with that, especially because none of them are really offering solutions. But yeah, don't boycott Amazon. Don't do anything differently because we want our money. Yeah, that's basically how these authors sound, and I don't like it. But like I said, I did cancel my KU, not necessarily because of the boycott, but just because of all the reasons that I stated before. And if you are still doing KU, I think that's fine. Like I said, there's definitely nuance to the conversation, and I think that people need to do what's best for them. And honestly, I really don't care what you do in your personal life. But that will wrap up my little rant because I think that was just like something building up for a while because I've been seeing it for pretty much 2 months now, and it's just annoying me at this point. Going into March, I'm really hopeful that I get out of my reading slump. Let me know what your March plans are. I thank you again for subscribing to me, but until next time, I will see you in my next video. Bye!